mind and make you think. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well this morning and you guys are expanding that mind and doing all these amazing things to help yourself grow and all of these things. I've got some good news. The cancer center yesterday was awesome. I don't have to be back until spring. The tumors in my lungs are small enough that we don't need to do anything right now and just keep a close eye on everything. Things are all looking good in the blood, and now I can actually start treatment for my lupus stuff. So that is exciting, and it also means I can go travel and do the things I need to do, and I'm so excited about that. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about boundaries. It's a topic that is often overlooked in our lives, and boundaries are essential to maintain a healthy relationship and preserving our own peace. You know, as we go through life, we often come across situations where our boundaries are tested. You know, we face conflicts, toxic people, and circumstances. I've had my fill of many toxic people in my life, and it was my fault because I didn't have healthy boundaries. For instance, I'll tell you a story of one time. Actually, it was with my godmom, my adopted godmom, which is awesome. Marsha, if you're watching this, I love you so much, and thank you for being in my life. I don't know what I'd do without you. You always help me keep my mind straight every so often. I had a few days ago where I was just like not doing well, and we were able to talk through things, and I appreciate that. It's an amazing thing, you know. My mom had major mental health issues and had multiple personality disorders and lived in and out of the streets and was an alcoholic. So I didn't really have that, and I emancipated from my family really young. And the amazing thing of creation is they brought these adopted, amazing family to me, and they were there and they forced themselves upon me to when I was in hospice so that I wouldn't die alone. And they were there when I came back to life, and they have been by my side. We definitely fight like a real family, and we love each other like real family, but we're always there for each other. And we went on this trip one time. We get this phone call of someone who needed some holistic health with Eden Ancient Design, which is what I do. I travel all over and I do frequencies, bioenergetics. It's like the med bed, you guys. It literally, I had a friend who was all crippled up like this, and we did a treatment, 2-hour treatment on them, and they went from being crippled up to not even wanting to be around people, period, to totally becoming social and walking and been doing much better. They wrote even this amazing thing. We had another person who had come up with their foot broken, and it was supposed to take a lot longer for their cast to come out. Well, when they returned from their holiday from being in treatment, they went back and they had their cast off, and they were running up in the mountains that exact day. I had doctors who came out and told me that what you're doing is real medicine. I was respected even by surgeons and stuff like that. Even my own doctors will say, hey, this has changed her life. Things we do, most of it she's allergic to, yada, yada, yada. So I went on this trip, got asked because this person was scared that they were dealing with cancer. I drove many miles away with the promise that these things would be covered and yada, 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 which I actually charge when I do this just in my place. When they come to me, it's $250. It's anywhere from $150 to $250 a session, depending what you're getting. And well, they come to me. So when it's travel and you're going to them, they pay for your gas, they cover your housing and your food, and they pay you your wage. I got none of those. So there's that. And then I didn't stand for myself very well. I didn't have the boundaries. I just took off instead of standing. I tried to send an invoice. Now, today, where I'm at in my life, because I stand up for myself, I have a team of attorneys, not lawyers. There's a difference. Attorneys have passed the bar and are beyond. And when you have a team, it's amazing. And the only reason I finally got a team in my life, because I was smart in my life. I always took a place where I would take the evidence, but I never stood for myself. And so boundaries are healthy. Yes, there's times in our lives where, yes, it's good to go off grid so you can get to know you, so you can walk through your shadows and recognize why you got to the place where you're at. If we don't have boundaries, it's our fault. It doesn't mean it's too late. So these boundaries, they are essential to maintaining healthy relationships and preserving our own peace. And as we go through life, we often come across situations where our boundaries are tested. And we may face conflicts, toxic people, and circumstances where our boundaries are challenged. And sometimes we may not even realize our boundaries are being crossed until we find ourselves in a state of emotional turmoil. Now, I've had many friends that I have lost to suicide, and I used to work as a first responder to suicide calls. So that meant somebody was there, I got called in, and I would talk it down. Now listen, do you want to know what I noticed the majority of the time of someone who would get to that state? Is they didn't know how to hold boundaries, and that the world was walking all over them, and they felt useless and unable to stand, and they felt completely taken down, to that they gave up. So this I'm teaching because I don't want to see that. When we hold healthy boundaries and see the value in ourselves, we also see the values in others. So therefore we are being a mirrored image. We're letting each other know, this is where my puzzle piece fits. Yours does not. Do not try and fit in this place. It's healthy for you to fit in yours. That's what boundaries are about. They're about being healthy. They're about learning to find the respect for others and yourself. And it does not mean you're not kind when you say no. It means we are standing for justice and not allowing others to walk all over us. You see, boundaries can be set in kindness and love, and they are an important form of self-care. They allow us to define our priorities, values, and personal space. Setting boundaries is not easy, and trust me, I know, but it is essential for creating a healthy balance between our needs and the needs of others. It requires us to have us be self-aware and vulnerable and courage to express our needs and stand up for ourselves. But once we do that, we can create a safer and more healthier space for ourselves and others to coexist. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to my eldest son the other day, and my eldest son will tell you, oh my gosh, Mom walked away from so much. So much. I did, to the point I left my family many times without food when I was out. And I didn't do anything to stand for myself. I just walked away and removed myself from that environment and went and got myself another job. But for once I stood. My son was proud of me. He goes, Mom, it's about time. It's about time you stood. And it's not wrong. And he was smiling from ear to ear. And I realized the domino effect, because he was standing for his rights in his life, because he's in this journey of getting his citizenship for this country and wanting to get land and do all these things. And it's a beautiful thing. But it takes us to be self-aware. It takes us to be vulnerable in these places. So boundaries are not closing ourselves off to others. They're actually opening ourselves up even more. They are about finding ways to coexist peacefully and respectfully. And sometimes boundaries need to be redefined, and reinforced when they are not respected. And that's okay. It can be a difficult process. I know it's not easy. For me to even get to a place where I stood my ground, people, I literally took myself into a desert for 7 freaking months. And then after that, it didn't just start there. It just slowly started. I started with little things where literally I had to put my foot down with relationships and all kinds of things. And then as I would go through my shadows more and more and more, I could see who I was in the image. You see, and I realized this is the image we are. We're the spark of the divine. The spark of the divine is God, creation. Now, God is a word we made up, but creator, the creator of the entire universe. And that inhale and exhale, that created this stuff. We're co-creators, and as a co-creator, what the heck is wrong with us that we wouldn't stand? You're a force to be reckoned with. You're the wind, you're the sun, you're the mountain, you're the tree. Think of that. Think of that. You are not just this clay pot. This clay pot makes you think you're an ant. You're not the ant. You're the giant. You're the lion. But the lion has to roar sometimes. See, to take care of the land, to have it lay, to have balance to the imbalances, sometimes the lion has to say no more. And that's where those boundaries are important. They're necessary for your well-being and the person around you too. So, boundaries, let's all learn that they are crucial to maintain healthy relationships and preserving our own peace. That's what we're looking for. And they require us to have that self-awareness. So let's be meditative and be aware. That's where coming in as an observer is a wise thing. And vulnerability. We have to open up and say what we're not okay with. And be okay with that they may not respect that. And that's okay. But at least you got it out there, and at least now they know your boundary and what won't be crossed. And you have to have the courage to express those needs and to stand up for yourself. So let's all commit. Let's all commit to setting healthy boundaries and maintaining them consistently with love and respect. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. How's it doing there, B-Money808? Thank you. Thank you. I thoroughly enjoy doing what I do. Sometimes it can be a challenge, and to think of things to talk about. I tell you, that's not easy, but I do it in my meditations in the morning. I literally, every morning, you guys, I wake up and I meditate. And I go, what am I supposed to talk about? And then it just comes, like flood. And then I write it out, and then I get it all checked up and put out into order so that I don't lose what my memory and mind was showing me. Thanks for the reminder. I needed that, right? We all do, It's like so important. It's funny. I was watching myself get shooken up over this last week and getting emotional over stupid things. And I realized, I was like, oh, I didn't set some boundaries here. They're getting crossed. And I'm not being clear with where I'm at. And then I was clear, and it was like, everything worked out amazing. So I had a really cool opportunity this last week. A friend of mine has been working at SeaWorld, and I've never been, and I got to go. And I am an empath, and my goodness, I can hear animals. They talk to me. I'm like the Dr. Dolittle, They just come right up and have conversations with me. And so I'm there, and this turtle is so old, and it remembers the ocean. And it was like coming up to me like, do you know the way out? Like, I just want out of here, man. I've been swimming into this, and it's not going anywhere. And I said, well, you can't get out. And then this one realized, like, it couldn't, and it just sunk to the bottom. And I was like, and then some people were like, oh, look, it's just like taking a break. And I'm like, no, it gave up. It didn't want to be in there, And I was like, my heart just broke. And then at the same time, I heard from friends, they're like, well, they do all this stuff in the ocean too, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, but man, my heart breaks when it's like animals caged up like that are known in the wild. And I didn't pay to go in, so it was an opportunity, I guess. And I did enjoy the rides, except for they made me so dizzy because my health don't allow me to do those kind of things anymore. Anyways, yeah, it's Memorial weekend, you guys, and so be safe, be smart, and it is sad, isn't it? Yeah, I can't do zoos or those kinds of things. I don't even do pet stores very well. I just want to purchase all the animals and let them loose. Right, seniors? She's like, that's why I have service dogs, because I don't even have to have them on the leash legally, as long as they're under my control. I keep my dogs well under my control. I got bomb dogs, man. Gosh, I miss Sadie. We all do. You guys, I'm sure you miss Sadie. Those of you that knew her from the show, we had Sadie 420. It was a part of the Mom 420 show. And I miss her so much. She was just amazing. She was in everything of my life. She was my service dog for over 11 years. And, like, she even came into surgeries with me. So there was just, like, I feel like I'm missing a part of me. But I had this cool experience in the Aster-Realm. And she came, but she did not come as a dog. She came as this lion. And next thing, it was, like, just... She had something for Xena. And it was crazy because the next day, Xena woke up. And Xena's doing things that Sadie would do as a service dog. And we took her yesterday. She came to the cancer center, and then I had to go get a bunch of tests with bone density stuff and all these things. And everyone was like, whoa, she is like just such a good service dog. This one test, she had to sit in the corner and not move and wait for me to be done and not come over to me and not be beside me, just be over in this corner. And she did. She went there and she just didn't move. And she did that several times, and then like she was so adamant about me taking my medicine, and she is becoming a pretty good service dog. I think Sadie had a talk with her. That's my theory at this point. Xena says she did, so I believe her. She's like, she came and saw me. That's what Xena tells me. So, something happened. And that's where the theory and everything that I say, we're in assimilation, so there is no death. They're just moving on a different frequency, and I happen to see those frequencies. So there is that, but there's a difference when you can hold them. So I do miss that. Anyways, if you guys got any questions, go ahead and ask them. I'll give you a few minutes to do that before I hop off and start my day and decide where the heck are we going to go today. I think we're going to throw a dice in the air. Huh? We can throw a dice in the air and see where it lands? What map it lands on? Let's see where we're supposed to go, Xena. You guys want to go into the wilderness again? It's ready for nature, isn't it? Yeah, nature. We miss nature. We have been in the city for so long. I have been going squirrely. I am one who loves to be off grid. In city life, I pick up everyone. I'm so done picking up humans. And it's the Memorial Weekend, so there's going to be a lot of humans. So it's time to find nature. Anyways, you guys, make sure you do one thing towards your dreams. It brings you one step closer each and every day. Make sure you recognize you're valuable and you matter. And you're all unique puzzle pieces, a part of the ultimate puzzle of cosmos. Know your values, stand your ground, know that boundaries are healthy, and there's nothing wrong with laying them down. You're keeping the peace for yourself and everybody else. You're making yourself healthy and all of those around you. And, right? Xena deserves a star. And we got London Bear. London Bear did awesome, too. London got to go to SeaWorld. So did Xena. They both went. Because another buddy decided to be the handler for London. When it comes to service dogs, even if you have two service dogs, you can't put them in service at the same time. You can have one in training, one in service, but you must have another handler. So we had two handlers, and London got to go in and enjoy the heck. Come say hi, London. You can see him. There he is. We got to enjoy the heck out of everything. London did not like the pirate show because the cannons went off and they were too loud and it scared him. Xena was so into it. I thought she was acting like a human being, following all the actors and everything. I think that was our favorite part until the bomb things went off. They are both cute. I have great, beautiful, wonderful dogs. I call their name, they come, and all of those things. They're very well trained because I took the time with them. They have no idea what abuse is. They're loved to pieces. Mwah! They're loved to so much pieces. And they're so loved everywhere we go. The whole park loves them. Every dog park we go to, everybody loves them. Every beach we go to, everybody loves them. So it's great. Anyways, make sure you do one thing towards your dreams. I already did that part. What am I doing? Repeat. Anyways, you guys take care and peace out.